The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has raised the hope of the country's aviation industry, meeting the projected 7.2 billion air passenger traffic by 2030. The Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Mutar Usman, spoke at a workshop on global air navigation plan organized by the International Civil Aviation Organization in Lagos. He said it is imperative that we urgently develop and implement short, medium and long-term plans in line with the global and regional air navigation plans in order to achieve demand and capacity building and capacity balancing with an acceptable level of safety performance. He expects Nigeria within the period will have increased its infrastructure and its regulations, stressing that with this plan, the country will not be left behind. The Nigerian Air Traffic Controllers Association has asked the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to fast-track the implementation of the regulatory framework guiding the operations of remotely piloted aircraft systems within the nation's airspace in line with international best practices. In a communique signed by two officials of the union, the group regretted that in recent times, unmanned aerial vehicles are being deployed for commercial and recreational purposes in the country without adequate security clearance. The preponderance of these operations, particularly in the non-segregated airspace, has to be proactive and safeguarded. Following Air Berlin's file for insolvency on August the 15th, the airline has been fighting for its short life left as one of its planes was grounded at Iceland's Keflavik airport late last week because the insolvent German carrier had not paid its airport charges. It said the unpaid charges had been incurred before Air Berlin, which has struggled to turn a profit over the last decade. Air Berlin said the grounding was unlawful and unacceptable. Meanwhile, a German aviation watchdog is scrutinizing a flight past by Air Berlin's last long-haul flight to its hub in Dusseldorf, which German media said was the pilot's unique way of saying goodbye to his passengers and the insolvent airline. The pilot of the flight from Miami pulled up the aircraft above the runway in Dusseldorf and made a low pass over the airport before coming around and landing. A spokesperson for Air Berlin said the Federal Aviation Office was investigating but declined to provide details that said the maneuver was an intentional lap of honor. After the carrier's file for insolvency, a government loan has kept its planes aloft while its administration negotiated with prospective buyers for parts of the business, with German flagship carrier Lufthansa signing a deal last week to buy large parts of Air Berlin for $247 million. A deal which will see Airbus buy a majority stake in Bombardier's C-Series jetliner program is a win-win for airlines and shareholders that's coming from the Bombardier company. The deal would give Airbus a 50.01% interest in C-Series aircraft limited partnership which manufactures and sells the jets and gives the C-Series improved economies of scale, a better sales network and, crucially, could change the power balance in an ongoing trade dispute with Boeing.
As a matter of fact, the C-Series fits very, very well with our 320 family. And it's a world-class aircraft, and what we know now is that it's not only certified, customers love it. I mean, those who fly it already, so it's a perfect teaming. This is why we've done it, and we think it's good news for airlines.
110 to 130 seat plane, which has not secured a new order in 18 months and is being threatened by a possible 300% duty on US imports, will be built for US airlines at Airbus's Alabama assembly plant, circumventing any import penalties in a move that apparently caught Boeing off guard.
It's a big market. It's the best aircraft in its class. I mean, it's the latest, newest innovative technology, in the 100 to 150 seat class, because then it becomes a domestic product, and therefore a domestic product would not have the import tariff applied to this. So yes, I mean, that is one way to address that.
And this is where we call it a day on this edition. Thanks for being there. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.